Hello everyone, it's me again. This video is going to talk about the process review and template and what it can do for you and how it works. Well, less about what it can do for you, but how it works. Alright, to start out, you're going to make sure you're clicked on the process tab in the bottom left. And the buttons you're going to use mainly are review, review same, the clear button, and the two above, copy IGO and process VBA. So when we go ahead and get started, click on the review tab. This is for a new process, a new TPA task, and it brings up the TPA new process VBA. Okay, let me explain how all this works. The first portion up here in the black is going to be blank for a few minutes, and I'll explain why in a minute. This middle section is for application review and Omni review. There's the Omni portion, and this will make a lot more sense in a minute. The very bottom section is for action, for NIGO, and your NIGO/notes, anything you need to add in there. And the section above that right here is for your character count, if you need to figure out, how long a phrase is, how many characters it has, to make sure it'll fit in the VBA. You're going to enter it right there. You have trade date, notary date, the ERISA calculation button. That's pretty much the 180 days. It doesn't happen very often on the new process, but it does happen. And your bank information. Alright. Back up to the top, this black portion. This is going to be completely filled in based on what you pull from Omni. So as you fill in this first screen, you're not going to see anything go in there. Let me go ahead and do the application review as we see it. So let's say the person lives in Colorado. State withholding, we're not going to add anything in there. 100%, 10% NIGO, or you can enter in an amount for future reference. Let's just go ahead. I just wanted to show you that. Let's go ahead and just click 100%. Pages are defaulted to all, but you can enter in anything you want to in there. Cross occurrences, it's going to default to single plan, and most often that's what it's going to stay as. Beneficiary, on file selected is defaulted, but you have the ordinary stuff just in case you get beneficiaries on the application. Task added is going to default as no, but you can click yes, no problem. Citizenship, US is default, but you can select resident alien or global pay. Participant has selected which process. You have DT, direct transfer, external rollover, internal rollover, 1035, which is for ATRA, EFT, AOR, reinvest, or NIGO. Let's say the participant selected internal rollover and EFT, because we know that actually happens, and you're going to click. You can go ahead and click NIGO, and then reach out to the participant. What say you? So in this case, we're going to go ahead and just select external rollover, because it's one of the easiest ones. IRN is internal rollover in. What that means is if the participant wants internal rollover, you're going to put the contract, plan, and subplan in this field for later reference, and I'll show you where that shows up. Below that is like to like and allocation on file. That's based on the internal rollover as well. Let's say based on what the participant has selected, just say allocation on file. Make it easy on us. Alright, now this is where it gets a little tricky. This middle section right here is IGO for the application. The only difference now, or the only thing left, is term date and waiver. So the next step is to go ahead and pull the information in from Omni. Now this is the way you do that. You're going to select the Omni Review button, and this little Excel spreadsheet looking thing is going to pop up. Now once you've configured your AVL hot button in Omni, this will make a lot more sense. What it's going to do is you're going to go to AVL in the correct plan subplan, don't forget. You're going to select all of the traditional fund IDs that are listed under the AVL tab. And the headings should look exactly like this. They should be all the way across, exactly in the same order. What you're going to do is you're going to highlight those fund IDs all the way over to the end, which is the contract number. Once you do that, you're going to paste them in here. You're going to hit that Review Omni button, You're going to paste them in here, hit the function button. It's going to do two things. On the live system, it's going to do two things. It's going to move you to this system, this window, and it's going to pre-fill some of this information in, and it's going to pre-fill in some of this information up here in the black. Let me show you what I mean. The state that they live in Omni. Hopefully it matches the first screen, but we're just going to say yes. That's going to be there, which means this one is going to, resident state is going to be there. Shows Omni right there. Term date. If term date is not on file, it's going to be blank and a red box, like it shows here. If it's on file, it'll be a white box and there'll be a date in it. Plan entry will be pre-filled based on the information you pulled from Omni. Let's go back up to the top here. Now let's finish this. Plan number. I'll just keep it the same one I picked before. PIN number. Those two will be pre-filled. Term date, if there is one, will be pre-filled. Plan entry will be pre-filled. The state in Omni will be pre-filled. So will the vesting and the fund IDs. So we're just going to go, I'm just going to pick two just random letters. So anything you've pasted in, as many fund IDs as you've pasted, it will place them in here, up to 8, even though there's 9 spaces, up to 8. And then the vesting that goes along with it. If it's anything other than a 1, it is not 100%. 1 stands for 100%, so go back and verify if it's anything other than a 1. Traditional balance, if there's any traditional fund balance, it will say right here. Last premium date may or may not be in the system. So if there is one, it will be right here. The issue state, which is 624, the number 624. If it's, the reason it's here is to verify if it's for New York. In this case, we're just going to put Colorado. Citizenship will load in if it's there. If it's not there, it will be blank. Same thing with W-9 status. In this case, we're going to say 0, U.S. citizen, W-9 status is a 1. We're good. Contract number. I don't remember what I put in there, but I'll just fake it. That's a contract number. You're going to verify that with the application that came in. Now let me explain what the point of this is. You've taken all the information you need to review and put it in with a copy and a paste. Now all you have to do is verify that information is correct, or is IGO, I suppose, is what we're looking for. Traditional balance, yes, 50,000. There's nothing there. Vesting, all vesting for all fund IDs is 100%. Issue state is not New York. Status, 801 status, is on file. Contract matches the application, and you're in the correct plan number. Now what you're going to do is, since I selected external rollover and there's no term date, what you would normally do after further review is click NIGO. Term becomes NIGO. NIGO's in there. That is deleted. Now for our situation, I'm just going to go ahead and put a date in there just to make it a little bit easier. You're going to mark yes. Plan entry is before term date, so yes. So this doesn't come pre-filled, and these three over here do not come pre-filled. Okay, so you verified vesting, you verified all this information down here, traditional balance, so on and so forth. Now you're going to go to plan rules. You're going to copy your plan number. You're going to hit the plan rules button. On a live system, what will happen is the plan rules will pop up. The cursor will be in the field for plan number. All you have to do is Control V and hit enter, and it will load. Then you can go ahead and verify. Let's just say ERISA is required and it's IGO based on the application. 801 status based on these two over here, so we're good for on file. It's already in the system. Plan rules says you can have all of the funds. So now we're IGO. There's only one thing left to do. Trade date. Now when you click on this box for trade date right here, it's going to pull up a window And in the live system, it will have 3 calendar months in the window. You can select the current date. In my case, since it's not live, I'm just going to go ahead and enter one in. And you can certainly do that too. You'd have to cancel out of the calendar like I did and enter it in. Down here, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to tell you if you need baking information listed to put as a note later on and to actually enter it into Omni, you can certainly do that right here. And then I showed you the NIGO pieces and the notes if you have any notes for whatever reason. So for our purposes here, this is IGO. You have 2 choices. You have process and you have add and close. Add and close will take all this information and put it in the template for you to copy and paste. Process will do the same thing. It will take this information, put it in here. It will pull up a process VBA window, and it will select and highlight and copy. It will select the correct cells, and it will copy them for you to paste into EXP. So I'm going to go ahead. So just think of process as IGO, add and close is normally NIGO. So process IGO, add and close NIGO. So we're going to go ahead and click process. So over here on the left, it's pre-filled everything based on the information you put in. Anything you left blank is blank. The brokerage I didn't mark, and the state withholding elected I didn't put anything in there because there was no state in this case. So it's copied it for you to put in EXP, and it's pulled up this process VBA. Now what happens is you go into EXP, you change the task type, and you go out. While it's refreshing, what I do is I paste my note. It's already copied, it's already highlighted and copied, so you might as well just paste it while it's refreshing. Then all you have to do is click process again. You don't have to keep hitting refresh waiting for it to finish. You just click process once you add your note. Now you go back into EXP, you hit process, it loads up, it interfaces, and you're ready to go. This window is everything you've entered in, well, everything you need to enter it into Omni. So it goes by each button that you have to push, the trade date, source, the verify status, term date. It's telling you it's an external rollover. That's what you entered based on what the participant wanted. 100% for settlement amount. Yes for resettlement on 100%. And then a product VBA, enter as required. That's saying enter in the information on the application for the alternate carrier. We're not entering it twice. We're not entering once here and then once in Omni. That wouldn't make any sense. So you're going to click the 2 buttons, TPA add, and in this case you can actually copy the trade date. It's in the exact same format as it is in Omni. Copy and paste it into Omni. Same thing with the term date. So when you get down here, external rollover, what it's doing is it's telling you what fields to fill in based on what is over here. These will look different if this is an internal rollover. And address of record, that would, if you're sending a check, it'll just say check. Now, for the internal rollover, I selected the allocation on file. This is where the reminder comes in, right here. And if you're sending it to brokerage and you marked it on the review stage, it'll tell you it's cash or ER just for a reminder. That's all it's there for. Banking information will be right here if you entered it. Now you can copy and paste it in there. And you also have another character count. This goes into the 180 rule. Don't even worry about this. It won't come up correctly unless you entered a notary date in the system or in the review stage. So this will always look weird if you don't enter a notary date along with your term date. And that's pretty much it. Now, when you're done entering in Omni and Omni VBA and everything, you go ahead and close it. Now, the other added feature to this is if they're going to EFT, they're sending it to EFT, and you've entered in the contract or the banking information, and this is already highlighted. You go to EXP and you paste it in there. Right below it, you can click Copy Bank Info. After you've pasted the first part, click Copy Bank Info, and it will highlight. And you can copy it, and you can just paste this right below the original information for the actual task. So you've added 2 notes with the click of two buttons. And that's it really in a nutshell. Let me go ahead and close this. The other options once you get out, you can also click process VBA and it'll bring back, as long as there's information in here, it'll populate this to match. Copy IGO gives you the same thing. It's only going to give you the blue ones and the two NIGO notes. So if it's a NIGO task, you don't want to click that, and you don't want to click process on the other window. You're just going to come back here, take your action step and whatever notes you have and highlight those and copy them and paste them in. The other button here is review same. This is not cross occurrence. This is participant has two different tasks. Let's say one is 0 withholding for state and the other is 5%. You can't do it as a cross occurrence, so you're going to do them separately. But the participant lives in the same place for both tasks. They haven't moved in between, so you're going to click review same. It's going to pull up the information that you selected previously for the application. Notice the Omni information up here on the top is blank. It's going to stay that way because Omni information is always different. So in this case, everything's in this application is exactly the same as the other one, so you don't have to change anything. You're going to click on the review. You're going to paste in the new plan, traditional information in, hit function. It's going to take you to the next screen, and it's going to have all of this information pre-filled for you. And when that happens, let's say it's NIGO for term. And you're going to come down here. You're going to say, I'm going to send term based on plan rules. I'm going to send term for that to Sarah Homer, and then another number, her fax number. Remember, add close NIGO, process IGO. I didn't add anything in here really. I just left it all blank, but you'll see what happens when you do that. Some of the information didn't carry over, and a lot of the Omni information isn't going to carry over. The selling plan wasn't there. So a lot of the information isn't going to carry over for Omni. It's more of a verify and move forward. So now it's IGO, so you don't want to click copy IGO, or it's NIGO, so you don't want to click copy IGO because it highlights the wrong ones. You're just going to highlight and copy them yourself. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions on it, you want me to sit with you and go over it, let me know. I know I went through it pretty fast, but just let me know if you need anything. Thanks. Bye.